Hello, everyone. I'm Plasmoir, as may like to call me, the guy with the Afro. I'm going to say this right out the gate so everyone understands I'm not the same way as some other people. I did not find any VTuber at this point cringeworthy for any reason. I understand people do. That's okay. I get that. I don't agree with that. But I see what you're saying about cringeworthy. Now, on the other end, if you want me to go back and say again, there's other issues with the VTube universe, go ahead and do that. I've said a bunch about Silvervale. I've said a bunch about all the others. But I'm just going to get to the point. That is not relevant right now. You want to go back and see the real problems with the VTube community? I've labeled them in depth before. So let's get that out of the way. What I'm here to say is, this is a case study of what's going wrong with this community in general. And I don't just mean because Pokimane decided to become a VTuber for a no cam day. Lily Pichu is trying to do the same thing, only it's going to be more like a cutesy anime avatar. I think I know what the problem is in my aspect, is that people consider this way too much about the cartoony aspect of VTubers rather than the personality. And while that might be true, and some of these people are trying to hide from whatever, I also think it also paints a picture of another issue with the VTuber universe, and that is people don't think these people are real human beings. Case in point, Projekt Melody. I've actually talked about this a little bit. My big issue with her was always, is she trying to hide who she was IRL? If that's the case and she's insecure about herself, then this is a bad decision. Well, come to find out, there is a rumor. I have not confirmed this. It's been stated over and over that Projekt Melody was already a pretty decent adult streamer by the name of Mars Matrix. Again, complete rumor. I have never seen official statements from anybody, but it comes out to be, I'd actually take more of Mars Matrix's information and her videos and all that and watch that because it's more unique. It has a better depth to it. VTubers, on the other hand, have started to become the opposite problem. They're no longer unique. They're actually kind of there. And Pokimane was already a unique streamer, very successful, able to garner 20,000 views on her VTuber account yesterday. I don't know why you wouldn't just do it regularly, but it comes down to the point that this actually is a bad thing. Why is that? You're already pretty successful in something else on Twitch or on YouTube or in porn. I don't know why you need to switch unless you're trying to get more money or more value to something you've already successfully done. So let's take a little bit of a case study of why I wouldn't have done that. You've already built yourself as a brand of a successful video game streamer, and you're trying to flip it into something that all of a sudden is a craze, and a good craze in some aspects, but on other aspects, a terrible one. Again, go look at all my videos. You'll understand something. And quite frankly, I don't care who you are. There is no apologizing generally for Silvervale. So it doesn't matter if I like it or not. It doesn't matter if I said it or not. The Quarterling could be up here right now saying the same thing, and everybody be like, oh, I totally get that. That's the point. Here's the reason why I wouldn't have done that. If I were in Pokimane's position, my looks, my technique, my game skills should speak for themselves. Again, I'm not going to pretend I have 20,000 people watching my streams all the time. In fact, I can barely get 1,000 people to watch videos on other subjects. So I stress it like this. There's no reason to be something that you've already known isn't going to work for you. And look at the VTuber community as a whole for now. How negative have they been? How much problems have they caused? How many issues have they brought up? And more importantly, how willing are they to attack somebody else? Hello there. Generally speaking, I'm sorry, I don't understand Japanese. This is live, by the way. Generally speaking, when you make yourself something that you've been supposed to divert from your original ability, you kind of also make it hard for people to follow you. Let me put it to you this way. When it comes to one particular streamer. I'm not going to name their name out loud because I don't want people to out them. Magical Mystic Free. They're already successful as a lewd voice actress. So the reasonable point was that it would be okay for her to keep working off of that rather than just do something else. I don't know if it's worked for her or hasn't worked for her, but it didn't really relate too well in the long term. However, let's take somebody like Athena Ayers, who nobody knew about whatsoever. Nobody's even heard of them. They become this lewd streamer, and everyone falls in love with her because her personality is actually not so much of a boring human being that almost cry wanting to watch paint dry. Seriously, Athena Ayers is a great streamer. Go look at her. I just feel like there's so much trying to get into this community that you forget the most critical rule about even normal streaming. Personality wins. Gamesmanship is second. Believe it or not, people say it's game skills over personality. I disagree. I can watch the LCS and get zero personality and get entertainment that way. That's not what I come to watch streams for. In fact, that's not what I go to anime conventions for. I go for the personalities. I go for the people up at the top and at the bottom having fun. I go to get those autographs, something or others, of Christopher Ayers. I hope he feels better, by the way. Great guy. Totally awesome person. One of the bright spots of the anime community. And quite frankly, should get every penny of that surgery paid by the fans. I'm not kidding. Normally, I don't go out there and simp for somebody like that. But I'm not doing it for simping. I'm saying he's a great guy. Go help him out, will ya? I don't know where his GoFundMe is for the surgery, but if he has another 500 of them, I'll pay it out on it every time. I'm not kidding about that either. Seriously, though, back to the point. If you don't have a good personality, your looks, your idealism is not going to matter. I'm not going to deny that my personality is very harsh, tone, serious. That's why I don't do streams, because I'm not that person. You come here for a serious nature of fandom topics, or me to say, fuck you, I was right, like Razorfist does. But that is not the point. By the way, when it comes to some of these people, fuck you, I was right. I'm sorry, I made that one of these videos. Well, I don't give a damn. Who gives a shit if I actually say some curse words? You already watch Iron Mouse. I mean, seriously. But what Pokimane has done is actually made a problem. She's unintentionally trying to flood the market. And people are like, that's not good at all. Ooh, that's cringy. I want to get down on the cringy people for a moment. You guys don't know what the hell you're watching anyway. I admit that seems unrealistic, but that's the point. It's not supposed to be realistic. It's supposed to have fun. So why are you agreeing? I don't know. Seriously, though, what Pokimane should have done is work off another VTuber, somebody positive, not the negative ones, not the Silverveils, not the Centardas, not the Isabella Electrums. Oh, God, if she's not talking about what kind of girl she wants to go down on. I hate to say it, her streams have been game-worthy, but personality, robotic. Hey, I don't do this to be nice, folks. I do this to be honest. Oh, there's going to be a report I got to file to my convention contacts, too, about this whole deal. I'm very sorry in advance to some of you who might not understand this. But realistically, simping for somebody just because they become a VTuber is not going to help you. You have to have a personality worthy of being on streams, and Pokimane already had that. So I don't understand why you're going to switch off to something that does not make any sense, that isn't very useful to you. I mean, if you want to have a little fun, that's your stream, that's okay. But if you're trying to build a brand, you've already done it. Why do you want to change? And I'm going to say something out loud for everybody right here now. I don't know who's more toxic at this point. The community who watches the VTuber streams or the VTuber people who are angry. Like, I don't want this. This is cringe. It's evil. I'm going to tell you this, but after the last 6 months, do you really want to be involved with the VTuber community right now? My point has been, you should always be different from somebody else. You know why Athena Ayers is so successful right now in a way? She didn't start out being this cutesy little girl who eventually draws crayon telling me how I should watch and play as Jinx from League of Legends. She was an adult star who became an icon. She didn't just become a VTuber just for the sake of being a VTuber. That's what Athena Eris actually brings to the table. It's VTuber who's a good personality. And that's become a problem with this community in general. How many good personalities are there? The other one happens to be, I can't even say them out loud. They don't want me to say their name right now. So, okay, fine. I won't do that. Give you a hint. They've had a conflict with a good old enemy of ours, Kuro Usagi. Not going to name their name because they told me not to. So, to be fair, I won't do that. Generally speaking, though, bad personalities flood this market. And I don't know why you want to switch off of that right now. If Pokimane were anywhere sensible, she'd stay as a human and don't worry about no cam days. Heck, I think that's the problem. The more we see of you, the better things get. If you ever come out and say, watch a stream of Iron Mouse, it's her personality that wins. We don't give a damn if she's a humanoid person or not. Her cam work is, well, Avatar. But when it comes down to where you go from Iron Mouse to, say, someone like Projekt Melody, you look at her game skills and personality, and it's kind of bland. I mean, really, you want to take out any game capabilities at all when you try to stream. You want to be a personality. You want to be somebody who is likable. And if you're not likable, you end up being that one guy in his bedroom with a webcam telling everybody exactly how things are. People don't like that, but at least I won't lie to you. That's what I feel like people are starting to feel VTubers are becoming, lies. Now, when I say this because I've been there, I've done that. I've talked to VTubers, and a lot of them have a personality so condescendingly bad, they will literally call you evil just for minor little things. No, really. I've actually seen that on Aria Lambert's Twitch. They call people evil on their Twitter account. I don't know who they called evil, but it's a very clear fact that I was the only one trying to get Ione Onisan and Isabel Electrum to do a competition. A reasonably fair competition. I'm not here trying to put VTubers against each other IRL. That wasn't the point. I think people forget you have to be independent contractors as well. The point I'm trying to make is this community is bad in general, and the cringe-heavy people trying to make it even worse aren't doing anyone any favors. So here's my suggestion. Get rid of the whole VTuber thing and be yourself. If you have to be a VTuber, be somebody who's not established and work your way up without being a part of the group that is. I don't care if people find it cringeworthy. They're not the target audience. Just like people who like VTubers like Silverbear aren't the target audience for this video. I would like it if you upvoted me. Thank you very much. But that's not the point. Simping for these VTubers is not going to get you anywhere anyway. I think that might be the reason why I'm not so super in love with the kawaii aspect of this. Now, bad personalities are everywhere. Trust me, those don't last very long. Projekt Melody's Twitch streams were at 20,000 once, and now they've gone down to 4K at best. So eventually, you're going to have to look at yourself and say, is it my problem or theirs? And in terms of VTubers, it's kind of a mix of both. Especially when I go out and see Japanese VTubers saying the N-word and people finding that cute. Wait a second. They did that? Yeah, actually look up something, I can't really say it, about VTuber cringe. And the first thing I saw was that a Japanese VTuber said the N-word, and everyone found that adorable. In English. I'm stopping the act for a moment here. Okay? I'm going to stop this crude, malicious act for a moment here. And I'm going to just come at you as a human being because that's how I am. Despite what Pokimane's ability to become a streamer is, I have a problem with the community in general. Is that it doesn't matter if you're cringeworthy or not. Generally speaking, people think this is adorable, but they don't know why. They don't know why this is cute and fun and happy go lucky. They just find it, even the most offensive people would be okay in their opinion. And that's what my big issue is. Is this all about acceptance? Obviously not for Pokimane. She's got too many followers. But I don't find in any way, shape, or form this to be healthy. I mean, I think VTubers are great, but I don't find the fans of streaming the way they are to be helpful in any case in this point. Now, should you become a VTuber? Well, I can't say yes. I mean, right now, state of VTuber community is cringeworthiness on one side and fans that think calling people the N-word is cute on another. There is very little middle ground. And even worse, some of them have gone out and say I should be removed from the entire Twitch universe just for bringing this up. By the way, Soki, if you're listening to this, you don't speak for the community in general. I hope you understand that's getting filed in my report. But when people allow the racist things to go on with no problem, that's when I stopped giving a damn about you as a person and start saying, you know what? Fuck off, bitches. I will take this to my grave when it comes to racist points. Nobody should ever be criticized on a gaming point when it comes to their race. I don't care if you're white, black, red, yellow, purple, green, or blue. You don't deserve to be treated like trash just because of it. The VTuber community has been a bad sign for most people. When you start making this point about Pokimane shouldn't be a VTuber, you're just feeding the point that maybe, just maybe it'd be better off not doing this stuff for a while and maybe looking into being yourself first. I will admit those people, very few and far in between, but you have to understand the one thing I do not like about this is that you've already established yourself. If you can establish yourself otherwise, then why become a VTuber? Why do you do that? I don't know. But when you start making it about it's cute no matter what, yeah, that is the cringeworthy part. And I hope you understand, it's not the VTubers cringe per se. It's the people who keeps making this idol worship kind of deal. I don't know if it is or not. And that's what bothers me about Pokimane. She doesn't need to. Let her do what she wants, fine. But remember, you're getting into a group of people that believe it's okay for you to tell people that Asians eat pets. Seriously, do you really want to be a part of that right now? At this point, I would suggest going off on your own and not relating yourself with VTubers somehow. But until that happens, the cringe will continue. But I'm going to double down on this. For those of you who are genuine VTuber fans, I appreciate all you've done so far to make this community less toxic. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's at least tolerable. But for those of us who've had to put up with this bullshit for the last 6 months and have to explain that, you know, it's not cringy, and those of you who believe that it's okay to be a racist, I'm going to say this to you guys now. And I'm sure I'm going to get like 5,000 downvotes for saying this. But the fans need to shut the fuck up, stop being asshats, and let people have fun their way. But on the same end, the VTubers have to have the responsibility of not making it more cringe and not making this about, oh, I'm cute, look at me. You know what? To all those who think either side is fine, get fucking bent yet again, bitches. And just so we're clear, this isn't personal. I don't care if you succeed or fail. More hats off to you if you succeed. Okay, whatever, you fail. But I'll say it like this. There has not been anyone in the VTube community who said one thing that has generally said things that we're doing are bad, okay? We need to fix this. Until you do, you will be considered cringeworthy, you'll be considered racist, possibly, and you'll be considered manipulative for a long time. Until you realize, VTubers, listen carefully, especially Pokimane, that your personality must always come forward, and just because you're cute and have an avatar doesn't get you enough information, doesn't give you enough praise. This community will be considered cringe and even worse, it's possibly racist, until the day it dies. I'm just hoping that I get to live long enough to see the holodeck so it matters then. Later.